Hey there everyone, it's Lee here from The Hidden Why. Happy Wednesday to you, hope you're well. I wanted to talk about the topic of struggle today. I think it's a very important one and it comes off the back of my discussion yesterday about change. I was talking about change and I reflected on it last night and this morning, and when we go through change there is challenge, there is struggle. There is sometimes pain because we're pushing ourselves into new territory. We're pushing ourselves beyond our comfort zones. And I think in life in general, when we look at this idea of struggle and challenge, there are daily struggles and challenges out there for all of us. Depending on your life circumstances at the moment, that can look totally different from one person to the next. If you don't have your fundamental needs met, there's going to be struggle and challenge in your life, absolutely. If you have all your fundamental needs met, you might be goal-driven and pushed towards these bigger projects and tasks, and that's going to represent challenge and struggle as well. It's just a different kind of challenge and struggle, but whatever the case is in life, we are going to have struggle. We are going to have days where we have intense struggle, which we just can't cope with, which we just give up on. We're going to have days which are a lot more milder with the level of struggle that we have. But it's okay. It's okay to have struggle. I really believe struggle and challenge represents growth. And I really believe if we're not growing, we're not finding a greater sense of meaning and purpose and happiness in our life. So I think growth is really important. And I think struggle, for me anyway, and challenge is a sign that, hey, this is something that I need to work on a bit harder. This is something I need to move towards because it represents growth, which is important to me, to give me more meaning and give me more purpose. Now, I think there's some people out there, some of the mentors that I look up to, that I'm sure, and they talk about it, they still have their own challenges and struggles. But most days, they seem better equipped to be managing it. Most days seem a lot more smoother. And I think that's just because they've gone through more and more struggles and challenges themselves that have grown them to a point where they can just manage that process a lot more calmly and smoothly. So the struggle and challenge for them doesn't quite upset them, doesn't bring them down, doesn't break them down, and doesn't afford them time to give up or stop. And then I think there's other people that may struggle and find challenge daily and let it get to them daily and day and day again, to a point where it brings them into depression. Now, depression's real for many. We all go through it at some levels, I believe. I certainly have dealt with it and still deal with it from time to time. But again, I think there's ways we can manage it. And I remember one time I was living overseas and I had this time where I just woke up and for whatever reason it was, I wasn't quite in my element that day. And instead of doing what I should have done, the good things, the healthy things, the good behaviors to help pick me up and give me a positive mindset to help me move forward, I did the poor choices. I sat around. I dwelled in my sorrow, I suppose. And I did that day after day after day to a point where my darkness and my hole got deeper and deeper. And I got to a point where I just said, I've got to stop this. It's ridiculous. I feel terrible. I felt sick. I felt ill. I felt really just uncomfortable. And so I made a decision to make some changes and I went out of my environment. I went outside, I did some exercise, I met with some people, I listened and read some positive motivational books and podcasts. And so you can get out of it. But what I learned through that experience was that I'm not going to let that happen again. If I have a bad day, if I experience some really bad struggles or challenges in my life that bring me down and put me in a position where I'm just not quite feeling myself, I'm not going to let it carry on for too long. I'm going to get out of that. I'm going to emerge from that hole and I'm going to step back up as quickly as I can. And I think that's the most important thing when it comes to challenge and struggles, is that we let it defeat us and we let it stop us from proceeding towards the goals and the things that we really want to achieve in life. And I think that's the worst thing that we can do. So I think we need to find the tools. We need to equip ourselves so we can manage those struggles, so we can be aware of the struggles that are happening. We can be aware of the challenges we're going to face and face them more gracefully, knowing that it's okay to have those challenges and struggles, knowing that it's okay because it's going to lead to growth and opportunity and happiness. And that's what it's all about here at The Hidden Why, helping you live with more happiness, joy, and fulfillment. Hope you enjoyed this one. Tune in for the next one. We'll talk soon.